What's up, guys? In this video, we're going to show you exactly how a girl wants you to text her. We're going to go over the do's and don'ts of messaging girls so you guys can skyrocket your text game. Alright, so first we're going to start with the big don'ts. These are things that you should absolutely not do. The first one is don't beat around the bush. So girls complain about this all the time. They match with a guy that, they're attracted to, and the guy just dilly-daddles and just banters and banters and banters, but he never moves the conversation forward. Very few girls will actually do that for you. Most chicks at some point will just get bored and be like, okay, well, this guy's not making shit happen, time to move on. So you gotta keep your shit on point. You gotta move things forward. Doesn't mean that you have to rush to the close, but you do wanna have a structure and you do wanna be moving things forward. Next, don't text the girl all the time, blow her phone up, and send her essays. This one should go without saying, but it actually happens quite often. Now, this is different than being persistent, which we're going to go over later. So take a look at this example. I mean, this is just kind of sad. So I guess this guy gets her phone number at a bar or something, and look at this. Hey, Amanda, it's me, Jeff, the guy you met at Shark Club on Saturday night. It was really nice to meet you. Remember you laughed when I told you about my car breaking? Remember you laughed down the interstate? How's your week been? Did you go to all that dance class after all? Hope to hear from you. Question mark. It's not even a statement, it's a question mark. Literally his opener should have been, hey, it's Jeff from Shark Club, or just Jeff winky face. Then he waits a whopping 3 hours and double texts her, hi Amanda, you must be busy. I am too. Was just thinking we should hang out this week if you want to. Get back to me. He waits another 3 hours and he triple texts her, look, I don't appreciate being ignored. We had a connection. You agreed to hang out. You agreed. We had a verbal agreement, Amanda, but you can't keep her rude. It's rude to ignore text, so you missed out on dating a nice guy piece. Yeah, because she really wants that nice guy. That's what chicks fantasize about, like, oh God, I need a nice guy. And she responds back the next day, oh, hi, Jeff. Sorry, I was working late and didn't have my phone. Surprise, surprise. Was so tired, went straight to bed. Just to be clear, I'm not interested in seeing anybody right now. Thanks for the offer. Bye. Yeah, what she means is she's not interested in seeing you, Jeff, because you got extremely needy and blew up her phone with a wall of text. So this is an extreme example, but for the love of God, don't do that. Next. Don't be super boring. So this is just shit like, hi, hey, how are you? Hey, how's your day? Hey, what's up? Now, I talk about this in other videos. It's okay to have some get to know you talk. It's okay to say, hey, how's your day going? Are you from here originally? Like, where did you grow up? What do you do for work? It's okay to do that, but you don't want all your texts to just be super plain and super boring. Hi, hey, how are you? Hey, how's it going? Hey, what's up? It's one of those things that you know what to see. The problem is too many guys then go to the other end of the spectrum and they start becoming overly gaming, but that's another topic. So take a look at this example. So this is, again, extreme. I guess some girls save this. Hey, sup, nothing. All right, fun, haha. He says, what doing? Not even what are you doing, just what doing. Talking to a wall. Which wall? You're the wall, you stupid, boring fuck. Goodbye. So most girls won't do that, but they'll just stop responding. But this is pretty funny. We'll give this girl points for trolling this guy. Next, don't do weird shit. So this is also very common. Guys all the time do weird stuff, like, just try to make weird jokes that don't really land. It's okay to show your personality, but you don't want to make it seem like you're a weirdo. So take a look at this example. This is pretty funny. So this guy cold DMs this girl on Instagram, so there's no context here, and just says, just remember the story how we met too, but you remember me? She's like, huh? I'm sorry, but how do you know me? She's just confused what the fuck is going on. He says, in front of the ice cream shop at Sector 9 in blah, 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 when you eyeballed me slurping the cone, you're in the crop top in the sexy leggings, you came to me and asked if you get a lick, and that's when we knew. Like, what the flying fuck? Like, this girl is just confused. She's like, what? I don't get it. Which thing? Everything. So again, like, she's just like, what is this guy doing? And even though this guy is super awesome, at this point she thinks, okay, this guy is pretty fucking weird. So you don't want to fall into this category. Next is may not be super apparent, but don't do this. Don't ask a girl for a lot of pics. Girls get annoyed when you're just constantly asking them for pics. Now, if you're unsure if a girl is attractive, then ask for her Instagram. But it's pretty bad to be like, yo, can you send me more pics? Can you send me more pics? That is something girls get quite often. I've heard this from many girls, and it annoys the fuck out of them, especially if they have a lot of pics on their profile, right? Now, if she only has one pic on her profile, then yeah, it's kind of expected that you're gonna ask for more photos. But if she has an abundance of pics and you keep asking, the girl's gonna get annoyed. So take a look at this example. This is pretty funny. He says, send you a full pic of me. I don't even know what he's talking about. I've said that I'm not going to because I don't have any and haven't for years. Years, what have you been doing, girl? I don't take photos of myself. And I'm not saying nudes, by the way, just normal random pic of you. That doesn't change my answer. Okay, got it. And she says, you can either talk to me and accept the photos you've already seen are my most recent, or you cannot. It doesn't matter to me, but the fact that you basically stop the conversation over a full body photo is the exact reason why women have safety concerns, as you put it before. So, I mean, she's kind of not explaining right. Basically, what she's really saying is, yo, you annoyed me by constantly asking for pics. So don't do that. Next up is get needy. Don't get needy. You don't want to do that. This kind of ties into texting her all the time, but it can be different. You can get needy with a girl without actually blowing up her phone to a large extent. So or without sending a girl essays. Take a look at this example, right? You know, he's being persistent. If you're too shy, I totally understand. A line he got from me, hey, how are you? Free tomorrow? Bam. That's a layup. All he has to do is say, if he is free, yeah, cool, tomorrow works. How does 8 o'clock sound? However, he gets needy here. He says, I could be better. I messaged someone on Friday, no replies whatsoever. The next day on Saturday night, she gets back to me. I think her name was Leslie. Do you know her? Right? It just sounds like he's complaining. But again, this just shows that he's needy. He needs that response back. And she stops responding. So he had an opportunity, but he got needy with literally, it sometimes can take one text to fall into the needy category. So don't do that. Next up is don't use a bunch of emojis. It's just unattractive. As a man, you want your texting to just feel like a man. When you talk, do you use a lot of up talk? Anyway, you're so cute. I can't wait to meet you. Oh my God, haha. No, you wouldn't really do that, right? The only time I use emojis is when I need to soften a text. So if I send a message that I feel can be perceived to be too aggressive, at that point I will add an emoji. But you want to use them very sparingly, and quite often guys overdo it. So take a look at this bio. So this is just a fucking emoji clusterfuck, and you definitely don't want to do that. So this bio would be a lot better if you removed every single one of these millions of emojis. And last up is don't call the girl out of the blue. So you don't want to just randomly dial her. Now, phone calls are good, but you should be like, hey, let's chat on the phone for a minute or two. In 2021, calling someone out of the blue who you've never met or only met once or twice is just considered weird and socially awkward behavior. So don't do that. Now that you guys have the don'ts, we're going to get into the do's. How a girl actually wants you to text her. So the first one is a girl wants you to make shit happen. So when we said don't beat around the bush, the opposite of that is making shit happen. You're the guy and you're supposed to lead. And if there's concerns or there's obstacles, you're supposed to be the one that finds solutions to them. So let's take a look at this example. This is, again, a little bit of an extreme example, but I like to use these to really drive the point home. So this was a chick a few years ago, and she's down to meet up, but there's just a lot of obstacles that keep coming up. Her schedule is busy, blah, blah, blah. But watch how I don't get derailed and I stay on point. So she's like, babysitting tonight, babysitting tomorrow. I'm pretty busy. I work Friday, Saturday, and I don't know what I'm doing Sunday yet, right? So some guys might give up here, but I'm like, I'm busy too, but I'm sure we can both find a few hours somewhere though. I'm sure we will. Pick a night. Right, so at this point, now you might be thinking, why didn't you say like, oh, what nights are you off? I had already done that leading up to this. She says, I don't know. Are you trying to make this date as difficult as possible? Again, the context here is that I've been trying to make plans for quite a bit. No, lol, just don't know what day I'm free or you're free. I say, how about Friday night you can swing by after you get out of work? So here I'm offering a solution to the issue. If you don't fall asleep, don't worry, I'll be well rested. Okay, Thursday, because again, I'm the guy, it's my job to confirm. Send her the meme, hey girl, happy Thursday. Hey, is it time for drinks yet? On Friday, that's kind of my confirmation text. I work at 5:30. I can call your boss and say you have an important pussy eating appointment. That's pretty funny. She's like, no, I need to work, and you're blah, blah, blah. So that night we didn't meet up, but we wound up meeting up, I think a few nights later. If you guys want to see the full Larry report, go on the forums.playingfire.com, and you guys will be able to see the whole thing from start to finish. There's like 30 screenshots here. Next do, number 2. Make her feel comfortable by acknowledging her concerns. So not always, but sometimes a girl will have a concern or two or an objection about meeting up. It's your job, and this kind of goes back to the first point a little bit, it's your job to address these concerns. And the first part of addressing a concern is figuring out what it is and acknowledging it. This is something that most guys do not do. So take a look at this example. So this girl I think she flaked on me earlier, and she's saying, sorry, it's just not the right time for me to meet. So not the right time for me to meet means either 1, I lost interest, or 2, I have some unanswered concern or objection. Because me and this girl never met, I never did anything, dumb over text, I figured it was the latter. So I say, not the right time to meet for a drink. She says, yes, I'm sorry. What exactly are your concerns? So here I'm trying to figure out what exactly is up. She says, it's just the wrong time for me to be meeting people to possibly date. I had an incredibly shitty experience my last time I tried. I don't want to make the same mistake. So again, I'm sorry and I wish you the best. I.e., I'm afraid I'll get hurt, right? That's basically what she's saying. That's her concern. Now I'm going to acknowledge it and offer a solution. Sorry to hear about that. I've had a few of those too, but good things never come to those who don't take a bit of chance. We've been talking for over a month now. Not much harm can come from a casual drink. Ending things here would be very anticlimactical. That's my Oscar award-winning text. She says, I agree with you. Sometimes you just got to take a leap of faith. I like to meet and give an opportunity. So you can see, turn the whole thing around by acknowledging her concern and then reframing the whole thing. Next is, well, this is a big do, is keep things fun and flirty. The conversation should be lighthearted. I have a lot of guys make the mistake they get too serious over text. Now, if the girl brings up a very serious topic, you don't want to just like, oh, my grandma died, haha, I want to slap that ass, or like, yeah, obviously you don't want to, you want to use common sense here. However, generally, the vibe that you should have is fun, flirty, and lighthearted. So the girl, like, let's say her life is stressful, which a lot of people's lives are, your texting should be like offer her relief. It's like watching a comedy. It should be like, oh, well, this is something fun. If it feels like work for her, text her because the conversation is so like emotionally draining, then she's going to be way less likely to text you back. So take a look at this example. Hey, this is blank from the internet, saved from the World Wide Web, the safest place to meet people, obviously, so just making a joke out of the whole thing. Yeah, that's what my mom told me anyway. And also told you that it's safe to take candy off from strangers, correct? Damn, that's much longer name to tattoo on my sleeve. Any other nicknames? Is that because you didn't quite catch my name in that voice note? Either will do. T could mean many things like Toblerone, so I'll choose I fuck with Toblerone. You can tattoo my name as Daddy. It's too long and painful to tattoo. So again, just keeping things fun, flirty, lighthearted. Yeah, thank God Daddy is much shorter. I'm thinking lower back will be nice. Yeah, so I can look at it while you're bent over in front of me as I grip your fistful of your hair. So again, adding some sexuality, spoken like a true gentleman who offers Toblerone to strangers. Get you a man who can do both. I'll be sure to open doors for you, wine and dine you, pull the chair out and bend you over the table. So it's fun, flirty, it's sexual. You can see, she says, oh good, I've always wanted to get murdered this way. I'll be sure to donate 20,000 Toblerones to African kids while with a crypto in your honor, not to worry. Hungry, so he autocorrects. It's like you know me already. Any other secret talents you have I should know about? I'm sure you know mine. So again, you can see this is just kind of lighthearted, fun, and flirty. This is not my texting. My texting style is a bit different than this, but it falls into the category of being fun, flirty, and just not taking this too seriously. So for the girl, this is going to be a pleasant escape rather than work. Number 4 is utilizing voice memos. So these are actually very powerful. I use voice memos quite often, especially when I'm in a situation where like I just feel like I'm a little bit of a standstill and I want to utilize a voice memo. So the advantage with voice memos is you don't have to be like, hey, can I send you a voice memo real quick? No, you can just like send the girl a voice memo. First of all, it makes you a real person in her mind. She's like, oh wow, like I can hear his voice. It makes the whole thing a lot more intimate. It builds comfort, and it's a good way to address a lot of the concerns. So if you guys want to see examples of this, check out my video on how to use voice memos. I break down a bunch in there. Next up, we have be persistent, right? So I mentioned in the don't category, don't, blow up her phone, don't get needy. But there is a difference between being needy and being persistent. And a lot of it has to do with the why, the how, and also the way you phrase things and the timing. So for example, you can make, a text like, hey, listen, we should get together sometime, or, something like that. You can make that needy and you can make it persistent. Needy would be like, hey, why do you always keep disappearing on me when I'm trying to make plans? Like it's so not cool, blah, blah, blah. That's kind of needy. Persistent would be more like, are you trying to make our date as difficult as possible? Like the way I showed it in the earlier example. So there's a difference between the two. A lot of it is also the timing. Do you double text her within 2 hours or do you wait a few days? So that can also be a huge factor. So take a look at this examples of persistence. So I text this girl, are you still interested in meeting up? Because she was kind of pulling away a little bit, and she just sends me nothing. I say, getting your lingerie ready. She says, lol, sorry, that was not for you. My friends and I are throwing a lingerie party for my birthday. Oh, she sent me, for some reason not showing up, but she sent me a random picture. I say, oh, no invite for me, no response. Wait a full 3 days. I guess not, no response. Wait another 3 days. I genuinely didn't take you for the flaky type. So here I hit her with a takeaway, which says tonight, question mark. Yes, what time are you free? So you can see that just by being persistent, went from her just being randomly disappearing to setting up the date, right? But again, if I had sent these back to back, then it probably would have come off as needy. Next up is utilize photos and memes. So this is another powerful technique. So what I mean by this is photos. You could send her a picture. Like for example, look at this one. This is one I use quite often. So the girl says, "How are you?" I say, "Good, just hanging out with this guy." So showing off the fact that I have a cute dog, showing off my tattoo, conveniently taken. It's just a high value pic. You can do this with like a dinner. You can just one time when you prepare a nice steak dinner, save that photo, and the girl asks, "What are you doing?" Say, "Just finished cooking," and you send her a photo of like a nice steak dinner with maybe a big sausage to suggest your big cock. You're gonna have some fun with it. Also, you want to utilize memes. So take a look at this. This one I got from actually a client of mine, but it's been working quite well. So this conversation was kind of going stale. I say, "Hey, what's up?" She doesn't respond. I say, "Here's a dick pic to brighten your day," along with a picture of Dick Cheney. Says, "Hi, how are you?" "Good, just doing a workout." So conversation started again. Next up, we have raise her curiosity, right? So you want to have an element of curiosity in your text game. Like you want the girl to be wondering. So here's an example of this. "Can I be honest?" In response to her picture, she says, "That's a great way to make someone swipe right, LOL." And which is actually very true. Like I would take that as face value. Like even if she doesn't really find you that attractive, she's gonna be curious. Like, "Oh, what does he need to tell me?" Haha, critiquing my text game. I see just the opposite. Actually, I'm genuinely curious. Bam, you got the girl curious. So one thing you could do, maybe a little tacky, but you could be like, at this point, he could be like, "Well, I'll be sure to tell you all about it over a drink or two," right? So kind of build it up. And then, make it seem like, hey, like if you want to actually get the answer, we're gonna have to go on a date. And last up, we have keep your text succinct and to the point. So you don't want your texting to be overly lengthy, overly wordy. You don't want it to be all over the place. You want to keep things as simple as possible. Doesn't mean you have to send short texts, but you want them to be generally succinct and to the point. And you want to be moving things forward, right? This is kind of what I mentioned in the don't category, don't dilly-dally. You want to be kind of moving things in a direction. There should be a structure. There should be, you're either building investment or you're sexualizing your screening, but then you start moving things forward towards the meetup. So take a look at this example. This is the openers. "I like the sexy nerd glasses." "LMAO, thank you. I use them to see. I wouldn't want you to miss all the fun and adventures we're going to go on. How's your night going?" "Fucking amazing. Just finished my night workout. Looking handsome and sharp for our date." "Haha, that sounds awesome. You already have date plans?" "Of course. The whole city already knows about it." That's pretty clever. "Oh, wow. Now I feel out of the loop. You should enlighten me." Well, I actually don't drink, haha," she says. "We will have some fine sparkling water instead." "Awesome. So when is this date?" "Depends on what days you're free. I'm usually free on weekdays and after 4 on weekdays." "Perfect. Shoot me your number and we'll figure out a day." "Okay, cool." So I might have kind of approached this in a slightly different direction. I probably would have set up plans over Tinder, then gotten her number. But you can see this is short, succinct, and it moves things forward, which is how you want your text game to be. All right, hopefully you guys found this video valuable. If you're enjoying this content, I do have one ask. Please hit the like button, hit subscribe, and click the bell for notification. So last time I bribed you guys saying that if you help me get to 50,000 subscribers, I'm gonna release my first ever infield, which I did. So my next bribe is if you guys can help me get to 75,000 subscribers by hitting that subscribe button, telling your friends that I'm gonna release a rejection compilation. So it's going to be 5 to 10 clips of me just getting blown out, which should be entertaining and at the very least make everyone feel better about their own game. Thank you guys for watching, and until next time.